Hi everyone, welcome to the reading. So today what we're doing is this is going to be the area that we are drawing messages for. This is going to be like more clarification towards what this is trying to talk about, the area is talking about. And this will be any messages that we have after reading these cards. Okay, so you have wildflowers. You have Sylvia Plath with the dark. It's like an eyeball. It's like she's coming out from an eyeball, and that's an eyeball. She's seeing something. There's a lot of intuition. There's a lot of pain from what you're seeing. But, there's also a sense of grounding in that pain, accepting. Then we have Sappho with love. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think I already have a sense of the message, but let's draw the cards further. Um, yeah, so these are clarifying those cards. You have the Six of Swords. Came out in the reverse, but I'm going to take the cards upright. Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, Six of Wands. You have the Fool. You have a Page of Wands. And you have the Ten of Swords. Okay. So while I was trying to understand the message from this, I took a look at the keywords for each of the cards. The wildflower over here, the keywords are renewal, romance, and awakening. Sylvia Plath with the dark. The keywords are living in the dark, intensity, and fury. And for Sappho, this card is the beloved, desire, and taking flight. Okay, so it took me some time to understand the meaning of what this is talking about here, okay? I feel like this is talking about you guys looking at the cycles in your situation. With the Six of Swords, this card came out in the reverse, and I decided to keep it upright, but I felt the need to put it back in the reverse because I feel like you guys are seeing patterns in your surroundings, okay? And you are looking at the with the Eight of Pentacles. This is he's paying attention to detail over here, fixing the small details over here, or you're seeing or noticing what can be fixed. You're seeing and noticing more details about a situation that is stuck, and you're seeing and noticing more about why it is that way, why you guys are having problems, or why you're having those kind of problems. You're seeing those kind of details over here. The Knight of Swords is talking about the mind over here, okay? And with so much of love going on in all these cards here, there is a heart and mind awakening that is happening, okay? You guys are starting to see love from a higher perspective. Okay, there's more opening of yeah, you're starting to see love from a higher perspective. You're starting to understand the patterns behind, the reasons behind, the cycles, the situations behind things that are not just in your life and personal to you and affecting you, but you're also able to recognize the patterns outside in the people around you, the situations around you. I feel like this could be a family situation that you guys are noticing some patterns that you probably have gone used to but are no longer working for you, because you guys have been chosen to break those cycles, okay? That is the reason why you're put in that situation, so that you witness the problems from that proximity, from the root, so that you can find a solution to, like, literally to completely get rid of the problem over here. Okay, remove it from the root, if that makes sense. um with this here, I feel like you guys see this, you understand this. All right, there's the Six of Wands feeling where you feel like, because you see it, you understand it, you want to take that step forward, or you feel like things should shift, or what are the words here? uh like, this is somebody taking the plunge into the unknown over here. Okay, this is Alice going down the rabbit hole. Okay, she's following that unknown over here. With the Ten of Swords over here, this is you having to completely let go, okay, and take the plunge. You cannot take these patterns with you. The the Page of Wands over here, I feel like you are in, like, you your feet are in two boats. Okay, one is a past that needs to leave, and one is a future that you want to create. And there is a need for you to know that you cannot be in this situation where you have both feet in two different boats, 2 feet in two different boats. Okay, you have to take the jump. But if you do take the jump, then you have to leave all this behind, which means you have to unlearn all these patterns that you now recognize, whether in your family, in your situation, whatever this is, whatever these patterns are that are not allowing this to move forward, this knowing to move forward. That is what you have to unlearn, so that you can give up to the unknown and see what unfolds. I cannot find the words for this message. Okay, it's like, what do you get from being so much love? Because the world is so harsh, right? And it's so easy to get tempted and follow the crowd. Yes, there is this, there's a certain other pull that, there's guilt that you're not going according to your soul and you're following the crowd. But it's still easy, like, with practice you can also, convince that guilt to quiet down and go along with this. But if you feel like, what is the purpose of love, and where can it get me, and is there actually any value in all of this, and God and niceness and all of this, what is the meaning, what is the use, what is the purpose, then taking that step into the unknown to see what you have created from your niceness, what now unfolds, that is a different, I don't even know if this is making sense to anybody. Okay, please do let me know. So this journey is going to show you what is meant for you, what you were supposed to do. That is where the intuition leads you. That is the reason why you're supposed to unlearn all of this, so that you make space for new learning. This is very programmed. This is about how to, and this is, this is very important also to know and to have these values, because here you learn unity. You're not a selfish person. You know how to work in a community. You know how to work, how to do things for you, and also keep the peace around the people around you, right? But everything has a limit, and after a certain limit there is a need for you to know where you are separate from the crowd. Okay, and how to use that uniqueness for your betterment and the betterment of this crowd. Not everybody is going to come along with you, but that is like that's a price you have to be willing to pay. Not everybody can like the same thing, right? So, and there's a need for you to unlearn so that you can be comfortable in not knowing, and that is the journey, the unknown. So you cannot know, it's in the name. What messages do we want to ask? Okay, let's just see what messages spirit wants to give us. Maybe it'll answer your individual questions. You have the outsider with the 5 of Pentacles. This is a child looking through this gate. The gate, you cannot see, my cards are very old, but this lock is not actually locked, okay? The lock is still open. He just needs to take the lock off the chain and open the gate and go outside, okay? The card says the outsider, like being on the inside, looking at the outside. And that I feel very much connects with this card of the dark, okay? You being in the dark means being in the shadow, being with your thoughts, being in the hermit mode, being with the analysis. You are able to see beyond what is happening. Now, you can either open the lock and go outside, take the plunge, or keep watching from the inside. Okay, the next, you have guilt. 8 of Swords. This is, again, all those thoughts about all those people that we have to disappoint in unlearning and unbecoming everything that they taught us we should be. Letting go of the guilt, again, number 8. I feel like, we have been programmed so deeply that we do not know, or we do not see it as guilt. But the moment you try to make a change, and when it starts over and over becoming a problem, then you have to address it for what it is. Okay, it is fear, it is guilt, because it is so embedded in our system, and there's so much of emotions linked to this guilt, about how many people we're going to hurt and how many people are going to be hurt by our decision. It is okay to let go of the guilt, because everybody has to evolve. All right, you have a view to see that if you do not, what you become, because you're already looking at the pattern and you're already living that life. Or you can unlearn and see where this journey goes. See what adventure is waiting for you, because you have learned, because you see, because you understand. So I feel like the love over here is a higher one, where you start to see people as people and not as those labels and relationships that we associate ourselves to. Yes, we are born into a family, nobody can take that away, nobody can deny that blood connection, okay? But what happens when we go into those labels of mother, father, brother, sister, and all of these things, is the love gets segregated, gets separated, okay? And we love in different degrees, and some we love and some we don't love. But over here, there is a different kind of understanding about love, where you start to see that everyone is a person. Even your mother, your father, is your brother, your sister. They are individuals. They are people on their own. Yes, they have a relationship to you, but that does not mean that they are not going through their own battles. They are not struggling they are not dealing with their own fights and own struggles within them. You do not know how much they are not talking about that is affecting and impact, and the reason they're doing it is because they have grown to know that that is the right way to go about, and that is the right thing to do. you from the outside, you can see it is a suffering. You can see, if we spoke about it, if we communicated better, if we understood better, if we lived better in balance and harmony, this would not exist. But to come to that, that's a very simple solution, but to come to that, there's a lot. And so there is a need for you first to know that it is okay to let go of that guilt and care for what it is that your soul wants to do, what it is that you have come here to do. Find that out instead of going, in that flow. Okay, the next is the 10 of Cups with harmony, healing of the heart and mind, like we already spoke about with the sword and the love over here. So, this is the healing of the heart and mind. This is a confirmation of that message. Okay, your heart and mind is healing, where you're not just having emotions and becoming emotional, but you're understanding them from a very logical, analytical place, experienced place, and where you're not just being logical, analytical, because you have experience, but you're also being human about it, because you have love and compassion also for the situation and for the people in the situation. So you do not see the people that are running these patterns and say, oh, you're running the pattern. You cannot do that, because you understand why they're running the pattern, and you have compassion for why they are running that pattern. And because you have compassion for it, you figure out a way of how you're going to break this pattern with in the least disruptive way. Okay, not everybody is going to be happy about it, but the minimum damage that you can do in this situation, you do not have to hurt anybody, but people get hurt because people take things personally, where you do not look at people as people, you look at them as like, my prestige is attached to you, kind of a way, right? I hope this is making sense. But yeah, this is a message over here for somebody. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.